Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to Friday Night VIVE. Tonight, we're talking about something that doesn't always look obvious in the moment. Not the situation itself, not even the decision, but the quiet conversation you keep having with yourself when you already know, that moment where you feel it and then start trying to convince yourself otherwise. That's what we're getting into tonight. When you stop negotiating with yourself. Before we go there, where are you tuning in from tonight? Drop your city in the comments and say hello. This conversation tonight isn't about confidence. It's not about clarity. It's not even about healing in the way we usually talk about it. It's about something much quieter. It's about what happens in the moment when you already know and you're still trying to convince yourself otherwise. Because most of us don't leave when something is clearly wrong. We stay and we start negotiating. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I just need to understand it better. Maybe I should give it one more try. And that sounds reasonable on the surface. It sounds patient and thoughtful. It even sounds mature. But underneath that, there's another truth, not confusion, but self abandonment dressed as patient. And it's subtle because it doesn't feel like betrayal in the moment. It feels like trying to make it work, trying to be fair, or trying to not overreact. It sometimes feels like you're trying to make sure you're seeing things clearly. But while all of that is happening, something else is happening too. Your body already knows. Before the explanation, before the analysis, and before the second guessing, your body registers it first. There's a tightening, a hesitation, an energy shift you can't quite explain, but you can feel it. And most of the time, that's where the first override happens. You start thinking, maybe I'm just tired, or I'm overthinking, maybe this isn't a big deal. And just like that, you move past the signal, not because it wasn't real, but because your mind wasn't ready to agree with it yet. So the negotiation begins, and it doesn't happen once. It happens over and over again in conversations, in relationships, in environments. You feel something, you question it, you override it, and then you try to manage what follows. And over time, that creates a pattern where you stop trusting the first signal and start relying on the explanation instead. But here's the part that doesn't get talked about enough. Letting go of that pattern doesn't feel clean. It doesn't feel like clarity, nor does it feel like empowerment. Sometimes it feels like grief or doubt. Sometimes it sounds like, am I overreacting? Did I give up too soon? Should I have tried harder? Because when you stop negotiating with yourself, you don't always feel strong. Sometimes you just feel done. And done doesn't always feel good, it just feels final. And that's the moment most people try to go back, not because they don't know, but because finality can feel uncomfortable. Because now there's nothing left to process, nothing left to explain or negotiate, just a decision that your body already made before your mind caught up. And this is where self loyalty actually begins. Not when everything makes sense, not when you feel fully confident, but in that moment where you choose to stop the conversation you keep having with yourself, the one that keeps reopening the door, the one that keeps asking for more evidence, that conversation where you keep saying, maybe one more time, and instead you do something different. You don't explain it, you don't soften it, you don't build a case for it, you just stop. And sometimes what replaces all of that is one word, no, not spoken loud or performative, not reactive, just, and that kind of no doesn't come from certainty. It comes from self trust, from being willing to move even while you're still feeling or still processing or while part of you wishes it could have gone differently. Because self trust isn't about waiting until you feel ready, it's about honoring what you already know before you can fully explain it. And when you start doing that, something shifts. You stop needing to convince yourself to stay and stop justifying your discomfort. You stop negotiating your presence in places where your body has already withdrawn. And what remains is something much quieter than clarity, truth, not loud, not dramatic, just steady. And sometimes the most powerful shift you can make is not learning how to stay. It's recognizing when you're done and allowing that to be enough. All right, let's pause here for a moment. This is where we step outside the reflection and look at something that's been coming up in different ways. And I want to be clear, this isn't just about relationships. This shows up everywhere, in jobs, in friendships, in environments, even in how you treat your own body. That moment where something doesn't feel right, but you stay anyway. You tolerate it, you push through it, you explain it away. And it sounds like it's not that bad. Let me just give it a little more time. Maybe it'll change. And sometimes it's not even about other people. Sometimes it's you ignoring your own signals. You're tired, but you keep going. You feel off, but you keep showing up the same way. You know something isn't aligned, but you keep trying to make it work. And from the outside, that can look like resilience, like commitment, like strength. But internally, it's negotiation. It's that quiet moment where your body already knows and your mind starts building a case to stay. And the cost of that isn't always loud, it's subtle. It's the slow normalization of discomfort, where this doesn't feel right turns into this is just how it is. And over time, you don't even realize how much of yourself you've adjusted just to keep something going. So the question isn't just why do we stay? It's what have you learned to tolerate that your body never agreed to? If that resonates with you, type truth in the comments. Let's make this real. Because recognizing the negotiation is one thing, ending it in the moment is something else. Most internal negotiation don't sound dramatic, they sound reasonable. Maybe I'm overreacting. Let me just give it one more try. I just need to understand this better. But here's the shift I want to offer you tonight. Instead of asking, how can I make this work? Ask a different question. What has my body already decided? Because your body doesn't negotiate the way your mind does. It registers first. Tightness, hesitation, or an energy drop you can't explain. So here's the practice. The next time you feel yourself going back and forth, pause. Take one breath. Name what your body is telling you. Does this feel off or heavy? Or does it not feel aligned? And then stop there. It's in that pause is where self-loyalty begins. No follow-up argument required. No fixing and no explaining. Just let the awareness be enough. For a moment, type ready if you're open to this practice. So let's bring this together. The negotiation isn't about the situation. It's about your relationship with yourself. Every time you override what you feel, you teach yourself your clarity is negotiable. And every time you honor it, you build self-trust. This isn't about certainty. It's about what happens when you stop talking yourself out of what you already know. And when you stop negotiating, what remains is truth. Drop VIVE in the comments, and I'll send you the recap link. Before we close tonight, take a breath, let your shoulders drop, and allow this to land slowly while saying this out loud or to yourself. I trust what I know without needing to negotiate it. Let's say that one more time. I trust what I know without needing to negotiate it. If you're claiming this for yourself tonight, type yes in the comments. Thank you for vibing with me tonight. This was Friday Night Vibe, when you stop negotiating with yourself. If this conversation spoke to you tonight, stay connected, subscribe, or follow so you don't miss what we explore next. And if you'd like the recap from tonight, drop Vibe in the comments and I'll send it your way. If you know someone who's been in that quiet space, trying to decide, trying to trust themselves, trying to stop going back and forth, feel free to share this with them. Let this be something that reaches who it needs to reach. Before we close, let's come back to the affirmation one more time. I trust what I know without needing to negotiate it. Take that with you into the week ahead. I'll see you next month for another Friday Night Vibe.